Hello, everybody. My name is Luchara, and this is Eco, Community Server 11, day 22. We're 3 weeks in. Hello, Kitty. How are you today? And let's talk about the server. It's kind of dead. Server is kind of dead. Oh, Russ is on. Hello, Russ. Let's let Russ know I'm streaming. Um, yeah, the server's pretty dead. We're down to like 10 active people. Ooh, sorry, 11. 11 active people, but like most of those people, actually, not most, a few of those are barely even active. Oh, Brokeeper logged in at some point. I didn't even realize. Maybe I know you have some food, Kitty. I'm gonna see if Brokeeper has some too. So we need to talk about, or I'd like to talk about, even if I'm talking to nobody. Well, I know you're there, Kitty, but I want to talk out loud for a little bit about why I think the server died so fast. Ooh, Brokeeper has food. Enjoyed some Diablo 4 with Xandra, Monkey Prime, and Cody earlier. So, yeah, so the server has died pretty quickly this run. Some of which was my fault, or at least within my control. Some of it was outside of my control. Um, but basically, I'm going to wander around the server and I'm going to talk about why I think the server died so fast. Essentially, is what's going to happen today. I'm just going to eat this fruit salad. That actually looks pretty good. So that's what. So we got blueberries, obviously. Is that pineapple? And some kind of melon? Did we say? And what's the red? Cherries? I mean, there's no cherries in the game, though, right? Strawberries, maybe? Right? Like that looks like pineapple and like melon. Was there apple in there? I mean, not that there's apple in the game either. um, but I mean, well, let's start right at the start. The server rate from day one had less players than normal, which is a product of most people waiting for update 10 before they play. If farmers and butchers are watching, Kitty says, I can get more food up for the active people if I get more stuff. We'll be shopping at the stores who have stock later today. Um, so a lot of people are waiting for update 10. So we had way less people right from the start. So that's problem number one, and that one's out of my hands. Um, so now let's talk about some of the things that were within my control. We started with no government on day one. Most of my players are accustomed to having government and currency and quality of life laws and stuff in place right on day one. Shout out to the road work Punch did, and I know Russ helped. So let's just look at some of these roads. This tunnel is done. A nice road going out this way. See, I'm kind of wander around the server, talk about stuff. I can talk about whatever people want to talk about, but I'd like to talk about why I think this server died so fast. So I feel like the no currency and the no laws turns some people off. People are used to having those. I could be wrong. Like I know people were annoyed with no currency, but nobody came to me and said, "Hey, Luch, I missed the currency. I'm not going to play anymore." Right? And it might have happened. Hello, Russ. Um, so Russ is still fairly active. Russ is one of the only ones. But yeah, I think that the anarchy of the early days, I think that probably turned some people away. So right away we're already in trouble, right? Price issues were a factor. Hey Russ. I mean, I know, Kitty, you weren't happy with how your line of work was being priced. But I mean, can you say that? I mean, well, okay, well, what do you mean price issues? I mean, are you talking about price issues because we didn't have currency on day one? Or are you talking on? Anyway, if you don't want to say it, if anyway, I'm not sure what you mean because I don't think price issues drove anybody off the server. I know they annoyed you, Kitty. I get that. Um, but I just anyway, we can talk about that later. You and I, Kitty. So Ishmael's house here. So right away though, already we have less people on day one, and then we have people leave because no currency and no laws and all that. Hello, Toro. How you doing today? So I'm still wondering if is this composite Saba like is it meant to be here or is it just filling gaps? I'd have to ask him. Um, and then I'm trying to think what else happened. There were there was the issue with the tailings. People were not happy about all the way all that went down, and that's on me. There were other issues though now. I like forget. So yeah, I feel like spoilage. Spoilage, I know, rubs some people the wrong way. Yeah, food prices were way too low just in general, but food prices were definitely too low considering we had spoilage turned on, which is my fault. I didn't mean to have spoilage turned on. I meant to have it turned off. It was turned off. Well, not turned off, but last server, there's a you can go into the files and you can alter one thing. I don't think we're going to destroy the meteor this run. We're going to let it hit, which will be next Saturday. There should be about 7 days and 4 hours on the meteor, and it's on the other side of the world. Um, I'll look at it later, Kitty. Yeah, but food prices were low, especially I mean, just in general. Um, then they got really low because of spoilage. I know people got annoyed because of spoilage, and I get it. I didn't mean to have it there. Basically, you go into the files, and there's I forget what the exact variable is, but basically it's you know uh, shelf life modifier. It's usually set to 1, which means the base shelf life of anything is like 3 days. So I changed that modifier to 10, which put the base shelf life up to 30 days last server. But nope, you can just do it blanket. But the problem is, at one point between actual play sessions, I switched the server over to the staging build, the update 10 staging build, just to try it out, and it didn't work. Um, like update 10, in my opinion, is still not playable. Um, I can show you how to do it. It's not too bad. But yeah, so when I switched to the staging build and then switched back, I didn't realize that it must have switched that modifier back down to 1. Um, Problem is you can't like if I go into my host, I can't modify the file there. This is I assume this is Phil's, yeah. And it looks good. I like the steps. The shale steps or basalt steps. Yeah, I should probably show this off because this is like the fanciest build on the server. As Phil is one of the only. Yeah, it's definitely different than the last you've seen. Yeah, oh, he's been busy. Phil was one of the only people that was really consistently on all week. Phil and Russ. Punch was busy making roads. Josh is logging in, but the last couple days Phil hasn't played as much. But before that, um, so yeah, so you can't. If I go into my host, I can't modify the file there. So what I need to do is go into my own local files. I need to modify the spoilage modifier, and then upload my file. Like I know what I'm supposed to do. So last run, I was having trouble getting it to work. And Edible, who is one of the other admins, but who's busy right now and isn't really around, he did it for me. So I could try to do it now. Maybe I should try just for experiment's sake, but like the server would have to be off, and I'd be scared that I'd wreck it, right? So Anyway, I'm sure some people were at least a little annoyed by spoilage. Is what I was saying. And I did not mean to have spoilage. Um, did I end up playing the non update 10 playtest? Wait, I'm not sure what you mean. The only playtest I'm aware of is update 10. Yeah, there was basically anytime I logged in, Kitty, um, Bill was the only one on during the day. Sometimes Damo, depending on how early I was on. Um, and then in the evening, sometimes you see Monkey or Phil or Damo or Russ. Russ and Punch in the evening were generally on, which is late night for them. But yeah. So one other thing that is my fault or within my control that I feel like uh the 72-hour pop-up server that they did last weekend that they decided last minute to not have it update 10. Oh, oh yeah, the White Tiger, the no, I didn't play on it. I didn't play on it. Yeah, cuz so yeah, so I feel, and I may be completely wrong here, but I feel like announcing that we were going to let the meteor hit has hurt um, the population because a lot of people are kind of like, well, why would I bother building anything fancy if we're just going to let the meter hit, right? I feel like that hurt the population. So you just you start with less people, then you combine the spoilage, you combine this, you combine that, um, and you know there was drama early on, right? No laws, the anarchy, you know, it leads to a dying server. Um, but I mean, at this point, I'm going to let the meteor hit. I don't think I can go back on that. I should probably go up, see what Phil's got upstairs. Just see what he has on a sign. Yeah, everything. Yeah, you're right, Black and Out. Everything does go away, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like whenever I said the meteor's going to hit, everybody's like, "Yeah, let's let the meteor hit," and then like the next day, like I noticed there was less people on, and like I don't know. I can't speak for the people who make ashlar, but I've sold very little composite lumber. Like nobody is making late game, end game, whatever you want to call it, builds. Where is the meteor? It should be 7 days and like 3 hours, 4 hours, 7 days, 4 hours, 22 minutes, 53 seconds. So, um, yeah, and I mean, I'm just spitballing here. Maybe the meteor, maybe that didn't demotivate people, but it seemed to. And then kind of the death knell of the server, the last straw. A lot of the people that were still active started playing Diablo 4, right? So that took away a lot of our last few active people. And because I know there was one night, there was one evening this week, like a few days ago, there was like 8 or 9 people on. It was still pretty good. But since then, it's been pretty dead. um, and time of year too, right? It's June. I can't speak for the rest of the country now. Weather's been poor here the last week or so, but people might be outside, right? Might be doing their outdoor chores or whatever, right? Which is going to affect their time to play eco, right? It's all just little things I feel like that added up. Hi, Toby. How are you today? Also, this is just a storage. Oh, this is fancy for stockpiles. Yeah, I get what you're saying about the meteor and like Kitty and Blacking Out, but I know it did correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's way less people making builds with tier 4 materials this run though, right? Ooh, does he still need birch? I have some. I have some composite birch. I think Monkey has a bunch too. You promised yourself not to do any real building. Oh, so you weren't planning to build at any point this run. Okay. So this is going to be his house. Oh, he's got a nice cart. Nice cart here. The shale. Yeah, I do like the Ashlar shale. These are fancy. Steel abstract fixture. Did not realize that was a thing. Kitty did it. Hey Fuse, how are you today? So yeah, so basically it's fine that this server didn't go great. Like I'm not too upset about that. This was just kind of like we were waiting for update 10 and it kept getting delayed. It was like, okay, I need to do a server. It's been too long. Right? We'll just do a quick one, faster XP, just boom boom, get it done type thing. So the fact that it hasn't gone great. I mean, I had fun. The first 2 weeks, I know I was playing a lot, but obviously my playtime has gone down. And also me not streaming, I feel like also is another thing. You know, if I stream more often, maybe there might be a couple people playing a little more, right? Which is a factor. But I can't control when Update 10 comes out. I can't control when Diablo 4 came out. Um, you know, but there was things I think I could have done differently within my control to make this better. But um, now settlements might make things tricky in the future, but we learned going forward that we would much rather have currency and at least some laws in place on day one. Currency for sure. Road districts also seem to be pretty popular for day one. Um, oh yeah, and I mean, it, it was already dying before Diablo 4. Diablo 4 just kind of, finished it off, right? Diablo 4 got the fatality, right? So this is DeBloke's place. So DeBloke, I know, yeah, I think what happened to DeBloke, he built here, planning to mine into the desert, and then Sadio dropped there and kind of claimed in a way such that DeBloke couldn't really get at the desert anymore. And DeBloke stopped playing. Although I tried to convince them that, what they weren't even planning to go smelter, like they weren't planning to mine iron, so I don't know why they thought the desert was that important. But hey, you know, it doesn't take much sometimes to turn people away from eco. Is what it is. Sadio's got the nice white brick place here. I do like the white bricks. Back, what was it? Server 7 was the first one. First server where we had the colored bricks. I had a white and red house. I quite liked it. I quite liked the white bricks. White and black, I find, which you would think that the fancier colors would be cooler, but for whatever reason, just the white and the black, I think, are my favorite of the colored bricks. So going forward, we'll have to ask ourselves as a community. I mean, I personally don't think Update 10 is anywhere near being ready still. So if it's not ready, a month from now, and doesn't look like it's going to be ready anytime soon, are we going to do another server on Update 9? I think he did ask for access. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened with DeBloke and Sadio precisely. But I know DeBloke was upset because he wanted desert access. He says, I do question sometimes people's claiming, especially when people extend their claims to someone else's without discussing it first. I prefer the 1 to 2 claim rule unless discussed. What's the 1 to 2 claim rule, Kitty? You just leave 1 to 2 space in between your claims, I assume you mean? But yeah, anyway. And then we got Josh's place over here, I believe. You guys big storage? Yeah. Yeah, most people don't follow that rule. I mean, it's a good rule. Most people don't follow it. I don't follow it, but I generally it depends, right? Like if I really want something, I try to claim it ASAP, right? If somebody else takes it, then that's on me. That's the way I look at it, right? It's a big world. You can always move. That's how I look at it. But my experience is going to be different from other people's because I'm the server owner, right? And while people and the YouTuber, and while I do generally have people wanting to be my neighbor because they want their builds to be on camera more often, right? Or, if they know what I'm taking, maybe their profession matches mine, and right. Or, it's kind of, if your store is close to mine, you're kind of getting the advertising of your store because I'm going to go there so much on stream. So people are going to want to build near me, but people aren't going to be dicks to me and crowd me, right? Generally. So it's hard for me to talk about this because I realize my experience is different from everybody's because of, being the server owner, being the YouTuber, whatever. It grants a certain amount of privilege. Anyway. Yeah, generally speaking, my worlds, people complain my worlds are too big. And it's like, I mean, yes, generally speaking, my worlds are pretty big, but we still always have claim disputes. So it's like that's one of the reasons why I'm scared to make a smaller world. Because if we're having claim disputes with this world that's apparently too big, how many claim disputes are we going to have if the world is smaller, right? Yeah, with the wild, there's plenty of space. But some people they just like setting a border, right? I get it, right? Which is like what Sadio probably did here. Like Sadio's house is over here, right? Like, but maybe Sadio's iron mine is here. I don't know. Some people like claiming their iron mine. I personally don't. Like I claim the entrance, right? Well, we got 3 votes for larger worlds. Although I do feel so this is Freakmonger and Icebox's place. I do feel some of the voices that were loudly asking for smaller worlds. I feel like a couple of those voices aren't with me, aren't with us anymore, right? So, yeah. And I've always erred on the side of caution with a larger world because I've had it happen in the past where I end up having way more people on the server than I expect, right? So I always err on the side of caution by having a larger world than I need. Because what happens if I get way more people than I expected, right? It's good to have too much space. That's the way I look at it, anyway. But yeah. Oh, a little clay quarry here. All right, moving along. I think this is still Freak Monger and Icebox's place. Yeah. Yeah. Jump up. Get up there. Now, this world is smaller than normal. I don't know how noticeable people found it, but it was quite a bit smaller. But I knew I was going to have less people, right? So, yeah, I mean, I thought this world size was good for the amount of people we had, but there still was claim disputes. Not many. I think the DeBloke and Sadio one. Is that the only claim dispute? I think so. It's the only one I can think of anyway. Of people having an issue with claims. So I guess it wasn't bad for claims this run. Unless there's something I may be forgetting. It's definitely possible. I'm not a young man anymore. My memory is not what it used to be. Larger worlds are nice, Taro says, unless you play with people from my last server that decide to live on opposing sides of the planet. Yeah, it is. It is good. Like I said, it's just a safety thing, right? Like I'd rather be too big than too small. Right? And I do think not having government stores caused people to spread out a little more, which is good, right? Well, people like being next to the food maker kitty, for sure. So I'm thinking I don't know. I mean we'll talk about this in the Discord between now and the next run, but my instinct right now is to go without government stores again. But again, all this is pending how settlements work, assuming the next server is on update 10, which is not is no guarantee, right? Maybe they thought you were going to make nice builds. It had nothing to do with your food resources. Wait, what? Are you saying they didn't build there because they wanted your food, or you're saying you didn't build there because of the food? What that was around you? I'm confused. But it depends what I'm doing, right? Like I'm very like I built where I built this server because that's where the good oil spot was. Oh, sarcasm, right over my head. Um, but it depends what profession you're taking, right? Like some stuff can go pretty much anywhere. Like if I was like if this run if I was going carpentry logging, not oil drilling, you can go pretty much anywhere as a logger, right? Because trees grow pretty much everywhere. This is my tree farm, which was definitely overkill, and I never even cleared the whole thing out. um, but yeah, this road finally got done. Depending on the version we play next run, Kitty is going to do campfire cooking, baking, advanced baking. Okay. So you kind of like the cook life this time a little bit. Where does this tunnel go? Does anybody live down here? Oh, my tree farm that I unnecessarily destroyed nature underneath. Oh, this road. Okay, no, this road goes absolutely nowhere. All right, good stuff. But yeah, I'm leaning towards, and again, we can talk about this, but no government stores, some basic road districts in place on day one, currency on day one, quality of life laws, but not full road districts. Just a couple of main roads, and then we'll put the side roads in based off where people go. That's what I'm leaning towards. But again, we can talk about it. And we got No Bro here, who I believe No Bro was gone for a bit, but I think he's actually been active the last couple days. I think. Oh, he's got a mine down there. Yeah, just a couple of main roads. The only My only concern with that is it'll people will all cluster around the main roads, right? Because I don't know, I kind of liked how spread out people felt this run, right? It felt like people were more spread out, and there were clusters. Like there was cluster people around you, Katie. There was cluster people around me. There was this cluster here. Well, I guess you could argue. I mean, this whatever, however you want to look at it. It felt like there was like 3, 4 clusters of people. Um, but those clusters were all pretty spread out, and there were like you got Russ and Rico here. You know, there were people that were still even away from the clusters. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see with the road districts. I do feel like government stores cause people to clump up around the government stores. Generally speaking, right? Maybe without the road payment laws, people will spread out. No point of clustering on the highway if you can't get paid to do the work. I mean, why would we have the roads but not pay for them? I guess would be my question. Like my intention would be to have the road payment law in place. I mean, oh, I'd have the road payment on place on day one if it was. And again, this is all pending settlements. But if it was up to me, so here's a little bits place. That would be my vote. But hello, Sunday operator. But yeah, if we're not doing payment, I probably wouldn't have any road. Maybe just the major road districts. Just to I get what you're saying though, I guess, because that way you can make sure nobody claims on them. The only thing is I would have to be very, very clear that hey, these road districts exist. You can't claim there, but you do not get paid, right? I would have to make sure people know that because otherwise people are going to start making roads and they're going to be like, wait a sec, I'm not getting paid for this. This is bull crap. Yeah, because I know, I know you. Some of these zigzag roads, right, bug people, and I get it. They bug me too a little bit. Like, I'm still trying to figure out why this is like this. And there's a few spots like that, right? Like what? Start the payment day three when people are more settled. Yeah, something like that. Or maybe we could do a payment for Tamping Road on day one, but not for Stone Roads. Domo. But again, that's something I would have to be very uh, diligent about making sure people are aware of, right? All right, where am I at here? Where am I going? Oh, this is like a bridge. Well, I missed Monkey Prime's place. I'll have to go back to that. All right, I just realized I don't have my water bottle. I'm gonna go grab it and do one other thing. I will be right back. I'm back. Sorry about that. Add the admin mod. We can have a pop-up logging that states that or have a display. Ooh, that's a good idea. All right, I'm gonna fly over to Monkey Prime's place. Um, I just had a thought too. Tell me if I'm crazy, Kitty and everybody else. For the road payment, say, typically we shoot. I, um, typically we shoot for like a 30 cent profit for. I know I'm crazy. My real name is Joe. My nickname used to be Psycho Joe for a reason. I've done some crazy things in my life, but not as crazy as this. No, just kidding. Typically we shoot for a 30 cent profit, right? On road placement. What if, and I'm not even sure if this is possible, but let's pretend it is. I like the white brick floor. This is nice, Monkey Prime. It's a nice house. Ooh, look at the view of the river, the water wheels down there. So your first like 100 roads you place on a day, instead of 30 cents, you get like way more, like say 75 cents. Then after the first 100, you only get like say 20 or 25 cents. Just to encourage everybody to place some roads. Because I feel like in its current implementation, the road payment law greatly benefits people who play a lot, a lot. Wow, that's a lot of storage down here, Monkey. Holy crap. Whereas if we did that, it would kind of equal it out a little bit for the people who don't have as much time to play. They can still plop down 100 roads and make a good amount of money. I don't know. I could be crazy. That's just a thought I had. But again, I want to reiterate, I'm not even sure. Uh you would have to have, yeah, I think I know how to implement that law, but I'm not positive. Ooh, Monkey's got a nice little redwood farm here. Ooh, Monkey is much more conservation focused than I am because he's also a logger, carpenter, etc. There's no old growth redwoods left near me. He's got three right in his backyard. Can always give a higher payment to people without the active demographic or without the long term demographic. And we can create new demographics too, right? Because the active is only what, half an hour in the last day and a half, right? But yeah, long term. So what exactly do you need to be long term? What are the rules for long term? Number of citizen active days divided by world age. Okay, so if somebody's not long term, essentially means they're new. So that'd be a good way to give new players a little. Yeah, you can edit the requirements for active long term. You can edit the requirements for abandoned too. Obviously, I mean, yeah, that'd be one way to do it, Kitty. It'd be easier from the law writing perspective to do it like that for sure. I just want to come see this bridge because I don't think I've seen this bridge before. This is a nice bridge. Ooh, it is a nice bridge. You can also give people without skills a bonus on road building. Can you make a demographic based off of a placement count? So everybody could be in an under 100 demographic and give that. Then when they give, yeah. So the way I would do it is the laws function, and I don't know who here has any computer programming experience, but the laws kind of function under like a lot of the same logic the computer programming does, like if else statements. So you could do if you could say road count less than 100, then pay X amount for road placement. And then you could do the else, right? And then you would have to implement the count, obviously, right? Who knew that university computer programming course I took would come in handy running an eco server 15 years later? Yeah, I have no idea who built this bridge, but it's nice and I like it. All right, let's go back and check out Tarun, Thorgrim, Punch, and Kitty. Hey, Ro, it is a fine looking bridge. I agree. Well, yeah, that's the thing, Kitty. I don't do that. And Kitty's talking about she once played on a server that also paid point 0.1 for mining, digging, and road districts to help out. The reason I haven't done that, um, Kitty, is because the government store kind of did that function. Um, yeah, I will, Russ. I will. I'll fill that in. I was just over there too. I'll come back and do that. So here's Punch's place. Um, the government store kind of fills that role, Kitty, right? But if we're not going to have government stores, you would need to, well, you would need to make sure that if you place dirt, you get taxed the same amount for digging it, right? But yeah, people could just dig, dig, dig. Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, so here's Punch's road shop. But yeah, if we're not going to have government stores, Katie, maybe something like that would be a good idea. Like you can make specific what you would have to do, and it's a lot of work for setting up the districts. Is you would have to set up the districts, then you would have to go out and see, okay, you're going to need a tunnel here, you're going to need a tunnel there, you're going to need a tunnel over there, and you go out and then you go into your district and you change your road district to a tunnel district, and you get paid if you dig in the tunnel district, but not in a normal road district, right? You're still pro a store that buys dirt at least. I believe Punch put the lights on here. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure who put these lights here. They look good. Let's have some more salad. I wish like I wish fruit A wasn't as expensive. I'm talking about real life right now. I wish fruit wasn't as expensive and lasted longer. I just can't. I just don't buy fruit, fresh fruit, because it's too expensive and I never finish it. That made you nauseous to watch? Eat with a fork. Oh yeah. Oh, you probably haven't played since they added the eating animations, eh, bro? Very important feature. I mean, who cares? Who cares that the logging level 6 benefit still doesn't do anything? Eating animations are way more important. Yeah, I think no matter what the food is, you eat with a fork. Simmered meat does not look appetizing, if I'm being honest. Ooh, a spoon for the simmered meat. Looks like there's onions in there, doesn't it? Because there's no onions in the recipe. Face tracking. Anyway, so this is the thumbnail today. This is Tarudin's place. It looks like a stew. Yeah, I mean it is a stew, but the thing is there are actual stews in the game, and I don't think of simmered meat as a stew. Yeah, obviously a stew. Although the best stews are is a stew you can eat with a fork. I'm a fan of thick, thick stews, like a nice thick beef stew. I love Tarudin's Windmills. Shout out to Tarudin's Windmills. That's why I wanted this to be the thumbnail. Because I love Tarudin's Windmills. All right. His fields. Tarudin, I believe, is away for the weekend. So if you need food stuff from Tarudin Kitty, I don't think you're going to get some. And I apologize. I don't know if you could hear that. We have a Roomba now. We got a Roomba. It's been running today. We don't run it every day because there's so much dog hair. It's not too loud, but when it goes back to its station to unload, it's super loud for like 5 seconds. So I have no idea if you could hear it or not, but if you could, it was just the Roomba emptying. And anyway, yeah, simmered meat is cooked meat with gravy over it. You can't hear it. Okay, good. And this is Thorgrim's place. Nice brickwork, I'd say. Reinforced concrete. Oh yeah, this is to make his fiberglass. This is his fiberglass studio. Nice mortared stonework there as well. Looks good. I went and got my water bottle and haven't even drank any yet. Probably do that. But yeah, so what were we talking about? Road districts and stuff? Yeah, we'll talk. We'll figure it out. Um, yeah, I don't think that White Tiger update 10 playtest is gonna go live because like you mentioned, Kitty, apparently you can't drive any vehicles. Vehicles are broken, not only boats, but trucks as well. Um road districts? Road districts. Kitty, in the early game, I wanted to cut down these oak trees so bad. Like, I was like, oh, there's so much wood just sitting there, but I knew you'd be mad at me, so I didn't. um, Not only that, Kitty, but there's also unfollow. Um, we got Kitty Hall and row districts, and what else could we could we do? Well, I guess we didn't have Kitty Hall this time. Well, because we didn't have Kitty Hall, Kitty, we named the currency after you instead. Oh, they're not even your trees. They're not even your trees. I should have just cut them down. I mean, I don't need the wood now. But apparently trying to pick up stone crashes the game right now on the staging. There is not a Kitty Hall right now. I mean, Calgary built a little government building. It's nothing fancy. It's not worthy. Actually, I haven't seen it lately. Maybe it's gotten better, but it's not worthy of being a Kitty Hall, I wouldn't say. It wasn't me. I have not come this far to cut down. I have not cut any trees down on this side of the world. You got your little garden here, Kitty. You can, if you need, let's go nuts again. Try to pick up too fast after breaking half block and half the block. Yeah, I mean, I don't like, I get this is a big update, but how are things like picking up stone and picking up wood? How is that broke? I don't understand. How did that break? Is copper? Yeah, copper. Oh, copper and gold. Is it just me or do copper and gold like? Oh crap! This is a lot of gold. I didn't realize. Holy crap! Oh, could you hear the Roomba there? Yeah, it like it's loud when it's emptying its thing, but it's pretty fancy. It has a mop. It vacuums and it mops as it goes. It's crazy. It's insane. Spoilage facility. There's a lot of gold veins in this tunnel. I find gold and copper tend to overlap a lot, right? Oh, this is the end of the tunnel. This is the end of the world as we know it. The end of the tunnel as we know it. There's a lot of gold here. Holy crap. It's a big gold vein. Right. Need a drill to see the other gold vein? I do not have a drill on me. Roomba has pinkies up. Right then. It is fancy. It's a fancy Roomba. How's your coal mine doing? Oh, people, yeah, no. Coal mine looks pretty similar to the last time I was here, actually. Hasn't changed a lot lately. I passed the facility again. Well, there's Dark Valve Mining Services. Spoilage facility? Is it in here? Oh, here it is. Dark Valve Valley Spoilage Facility. I have like 3,000 spoiled food I could bring you. Feel free to fly into it. Nothing fancy. No, just a bunch of silos. Yep. Yeah, I mean, all my stuff is in my silo. And I mean, some of that is food, but most of my stuff is just tree seeds, right? Like I had at one point I had like 1,300 cedar seeds, I think, and they all spoiled all at once. I know it's not realistic, but I really, really wish this game did spoilage like, say, Ark Survival Evolved did. Right? You have a stack of 30 meat in Ark. It has a spoilage timer. When it gets to that spoilage timer, one goes bad. Just one. And then it goes again. Right? Like, just because the thing is, like, those 1,000 seeds, I didn't harvest them all at the same time. Why are they spoiling at the same time? Right? Like, I don't know. Like, just to have 1,000 cedar seeds, like it stacks to 1,000, just boop, instant. Yeah. So just putting this out there. I know people are playing Diablo 4 and stuff right now, but there's a pretty good chance once this is done, if update 10 playtest does get delayed like we think. So yeah, I put up a poll, a survey in Discord. Um so and said is White Tiger, the update 10 playtest, actually going to go live on June 14th as scheduled? Two people said yes. 16 said no. So we think it's not going to happen. I'm leaning towards an Arc server if update 10 does get delayed as expected. So yeah, let's take this tunnel, which brings me back home. I got to go see Russ. I got to go fix Russ's issue there. I'm leaning towards an Arc server, personally. But again, if there's a bunch of y'all still deep into Diablo 4, maybe I'll wait a bit, right? Um, it'd be similar to last time, like rate wise and mod wise. There was one mod that people wanted that I didn't put on, was like the Dino storage mod. I think I'd probably add that one. I'm not sure. You totally go for some Arc. Yeah, I mean, other than Eco, Arc was definitely the most successful. No, seeds don't do anything if you don't. I mean, especially tree seeds. Um, crop seeds. There is some like research papers that use crop seeds. Um, so last time we did Arc, we actually had, what did we have? We had like four map. We had four. We had a four server cluster. We had Fjordur, Ragnarok, Crystal Isles, which like nobody was on, and then we had a fourth server that the plan was to rotate the map to all the ones that we weren't currently using. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was just Lost Island the whole time, right? Wasn't it? I don't. If I remember correctly, it was just Lost Island the whole time. Yeah, well, I'm not a fan of the island either. What was it? So yeah, I was talking about seeds. So yeah, so crop seeds have a use in research. Acorns, technically, these are oak seeds essentially, but they're used in pad thai. But yeah, the rotating server was supposed to be, obviously, don't build there. But if you want to go check out Lost Island, yes, we did. What did we do? Structures Plus and one of the Spyglass ones, Awesome Spyglass, and I think Classic Flyers, I think is what we had. And then we would use Dino Storage as well. Or did we use Classic Flyers, or did I just enable flyer speed leveling? I forget. Either we had Classic Flyers or I enabled flyer speed leveling, possibly both. But at the very least, yeah, I just enabled the setting. Okay. Because classic flyers does make them a little OP. Like, you don't even have to worry about stamina if you use classic flyers. So yeah, so like this 1,000, this was cedar seeds. Most of this, I have almost 3,000. Probably at least 2,500 of it is just tree seeds. I'm surprised plant fibers don't go bad. I'm surprised they don't have a spoilage timer. Honestly, I'm a little surprised. So yeah, so we had rate wise, the XP was up a little bit. The gathering, I think, was up a little bit. Taming was up quite a bit. And the breeding settings we played with, excuse me, we had played with the breeding to make it a little better too. Oh, it's definitely open to play. Definitely open to anybody from the community. Because and this is what's interesting is like eco the eco server is so expensive to host that um it's actually cheaper to have a cluster of 3 ARC servers than a single eco server. I mean, that's with like a, 20-person cap or whatever, right? On ARC servers. Eco doesn't really have a player cap the same way. So this is what you were talking about, right, Russ? Right here. You don't want to get your truck stuck there. All right. So do you have any dirt around, Russ? I unclaimed it, Russ. So if you have any dirt around, we could fill it in. Or if you want to put some roads there, you can fill it in with whatever. I was just thinking dirt would be the easiest thing. Okay. It is unclaimed. Let me double check. Yes, it is unclaimed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So there you go. The ARC servers you managed have gone stale for me. Yeah. So also I should mention it was all PVE. We had all PVE. But if we were to do ARC again, I would be okay with having one of the servers be PvP, right? Because you can have them cluster together and still have, 2 of them be PvE and one PvP in case people wanted the PvP. I'm not sure we're gonna. I'm kind of leaning towards not doing the rotating one since it didn't really rotate last time. Um, but yeah, you're right. The rotating one would be interesting. And when I actually I shouldn't say that. Arc servers being cheap. Yeah, it would be cool to build like an arena, right? Have and then just go into the arena. That'd be fun. Um, yeah, what was I talking about? Oh, some of the Arc maps, Lost Island, and I think Genesis or Genesis 2, um, they need more RAM. They're a little more expensive. They're still nowhere near expensive as Eco. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, because I know the rotating server had Lost Island. I think you need 16 gigs of RAM, whereas the other maps only need 8. So this is Miso today's spot. Oh, I like her little house. This is a cute little house, a cute little bridge. Okay, why am I holding a shovel? Hello, coyote. Oh, I like her little backyard. She can go for a little swim, swimming with the fishes. Can you hear that? Man, that the puppy. Well, I call him a puppy. He's a year old now, but he sheds so much right now. Like it's ridiculous how much he shed. I mean, it's June. He's shedding his spring coat, right? But that is a very cute house, me. So I know you're not watching, but maybe you'll be watching in the future. And then she's got her. I call this her patchwork quilt workshop with all the different colors of brick. You've got one that you rotate every week. It's a bit to manage. If you don't have server file perms split between a couple people, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty much just me doing the server stuff last time, but I don't think changing the map was that hard, if I remember correctly. It's just changing the command line, right? For the map, if I remember. Anyway, it was a while ago. That was what, last September we did the Arc servers. Yeah, it's almost a year ago. Almost a year ago. What else did I want to talk about? I don't know. I mean, we could do something like Conan Exiles or something as well, but I don't know. I kind of bounced off Conan Exiles. I didn't really like it. Yeah, well, I guess that's true. That's true. I didn't have that issue because I mean there was only what 15 of us, maybe 20 that played Ark, and almost everybody was on Fjord or Ragnarok, so it was no problem. I When I played Conan, and admittedly it was for like, well, let me check my Steam here. Let me check my Steam. I played Conan Exiles for grand total of 8.5 hours, which admittedly is not a lot. It was PvE. I didn't really, I like a buddy of mine kind of was like, let's play Conan Exiles. I was like, okay. Yeah. But I know some people like it. Like I know Thorgrim is big into it, or was, you know. Yeah, Thorgrim has played 646 hours. Nergy has played 390 hours. So there are some members of the community that have played a lot. You have Conan Exiles on PS4. I personally won't buy it on PC. And I should also state that I played it. It says last played July 6, 2018. So I played it 5 years ago. I'm sure it's changed a lot in that year. um, yeah. So anyway, I'd rather Ark over Conan personally. Yeah, it was easy to, and it's funny, like, Ark is a bit of a running joke in the game overall gaming community that it's, a buggy unoptimized mess. And it is. I'm not saying it's not. But the fact that like this eco server, what is this? This oh monkeys, this monkey's mine. The fact that I need to restart this eco server twice a day. And now, to be fair, this server probably doesn't need to be twice a day. I could probably get away with one because the server's smaller and there's less players and blah blah blah. Um, but it still have to restart at least once a day. Um, but Arc, like I only had to restart the Arc servers, even the ones that we were playing on a lot. I only had to restart them like once every 3 or 4 days. It's like, I'm sorry, like if if your servers need to be restarted way more than Arc, you got problems, right? Yeah, it says a lot about Eco. And I realize Eco's early access and Arc is technically not early access anymore. I get that. So this is Strawberry Teddy Bear's place. Did I say Strawberry Teddy Berry? Strawberry Teddy Bear. Strawberry Teddy Bear's place. I have not played 7 Days to Die. Um, I think somebody gifted me that, if I'm being honest. I own it. I'm pretty sure somebody in the community gifted it to me. Um, but I feel like I'm already tied. I'm tied as a content creator to Eco already. Um, which is a game that's been in early access forever and looks like it's going to be in early access for quite some time still. I don't want to tie myself to another game that seems like it's perpetually in early access, being 7 Days to Die. Um, I've heard good things. I've heard the game is good. I love this little not balcony, veranda, patio, step, porch. I don't know what you call this exactly, but I like it. I like it a lot. No, no, it's fine. Like I said, it's been suggested to me before. I'm okay hearing suggestions as long as people don't get upset if I don't play it, right? Which sometimes people do. Yeah, I know some content creators are like very anti. Don't even suggest me a game. Hmm. Roadkill. That's a rabbit. If it was a bison, I'd maybe take it and bring it to black it out. Yeah, I've had people in the comments. It's like, is it okay if I suggest a game? It's like, yes, you're allowed to suggest a game. I can't promise I'll play it, but you're absolutely allowed to suggest one. Hey, Thorgrim. Oh, somebody. Thorgrim's ears must have been burned, and he realized I was talking about potentially playing Conan Exiles, maybe. Um, I don't think we're gonna play Conan Exiles, Thorgrim. If if update 10 playtest isn't ready, right, in the next couple weeks, um, which I don't think it will be. But if that is the case, we're gonna let the meteor hit here, right? Um, I think I think we'll probably start an Arc server. Um, I would say if if you're interested, I said maybe something like Conan Exiles, but I'm leaning towards Arc. I like Arc. Arc's fun. Arc's just fun. Uh, wait, where are we? What is this? What are we looking at here? Whose properties? Oh, this is the person who left. Person who left because they were putting tailings everywhere and people got mad at them and they got mad in return and left the community. Oh well. Speak of the devil and they shall appear. Indeed. All right, so I'm not driving. I drove on this last week and I didn't fall off and it was good. I'm not gonna drive again because I might fall off. So Rico is or was or maybe still is making a platform to view the meteor hitting the planet. Ignore the shale. Shall thou shall not pass. Um, we can come out here and we can watch the meteor uh, start its descent onto our nice planet. I do think that if we go through with letting the meteor hit, which I think we should at this point because we kind of said we would. Um, wait, how do you get like the flat mortared stone like that? Anyway, I will probably give everybody admin privileges just so they can fly around and see the devastation from bird's eye view. A mod for Arc is Better Waypoints version 2. I will take a look at it. I'll say this for Arc too, especially compared to Eco. Actually, let's just go to Rico's place. I don't know. It kind of okay. So for anyone who doesn't know, like the whole, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but because I've seen it, but where is it? It's not like the whole meteor just goes boom, right? That's not what happens. It comes in, it breaks apart, and the pieces impact. I thought it just kind of hit everywhere at once, Kitty, but I could be wrong. I've like said, I've only seen it the one time, and it's not like I was, I mean, I was recording, but or streaming, but I wasn't paying attention to where it was hitting. Um, some of the spots it hits are bigger craters than others. Um, and maybe it starts in one place and kind of spreads from there. Oh, maybe they have changed it. I don't know because it was like a year and a half ago. Yeah, almost exactly a year and a half ago because it was Boxing Day. Um, I don't I don't I think it just hits everywhere all at once, Kitty. I thought, but I mean it's hard to tell because you're watching from one place. It's hard to tell what's happening on the other side of the world, right? I mean, you or I could go back and watch, but again, that's a year and a half ago, and I have heard from multiple people, like Latero said, that they've changed the way it hits. So I don't know. So yeah, maybe there is one big chunk still. I don't know, but like, I'm not disputing that there's one big impact. I just want to reiterate that while there may be one impact that's larger, the other like the smaller impacts are still huge, and there's a lot of them. Just I don't remember the specifics of it, Katie. I haven't gone back and watched it. But it's quite possible. Oh yeah, that's the other thing too, I guess. Side of the world. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I have a feeling like that platform that Rico built, we'll start there, we'll hang out there. But I think it might even be better to like spread out, right? Like especially if I give everybody admin access so they can do slash fly. Kind of makes sense to spread out so that we can see if there is one major chunk, at least somebody gets to see it, right? Anyway, it's gonna be next Saturday, which is good at a decent time. There's the meteor. Yeah. Although I feel like because of the daily restarts, where it starts falling. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I thought you meant where it hits. I get what you're saying now. Oh, and no, Calorie has spiffed up Kitty Hall with some ashlar sandstone. I mean, it's not technically called Kitty Hall, but this is the city hall. I haven't seen Cal on much lately. Cal did a ton of work. I don't know if you're watching Calorie. Thank you for all the work you did putting the government together, getting the currency going, and doing like the library. Cal did a ton of work this run. Landing and falling, yeah. Have an admin do meteor make visible just before, and it should pop into view and change landing if it's not in view. That's in view of that admin. So as long as everybody is where that admin is, that should work. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for. Oh, what is going on over here? Oh, this must be Ishmael's. Ishmael's been buying composite redwood from me. I'm gonna say this is what for. Meteor make visible. Okay, I might have to write that down. I'm gonna write that down just so I remember. Meteor make visible. If we are gonna hang out together in one spot, obviously it'd be good if we could actually see the meteor, right? This is gonna be a fancy little boat. Work in progress, obviously. Ishmael's like, I'm not waiting for update 10 for boats. I'm just gonna build a boat. You prefer the centralized research? Something that would be cool if we can implement it for future runs. It all depends on how the settlements actually end up working, right? Like, can we really? I mean, we can do it, but all it. Oh, Roe's boat, the rowboat. Roe had like a warship. I don't know. I don't know if Roe's still here, but I don't. Did he? Did you end up finishing that Roe? Yeah, that was server 6. That was the last time Roe played like full time. Roe had an insane like It was clearly like seemed to be a boat from World of Warships, which I know Ro plays. Um, yeah, it was crazy big. Yeah, I do like Ashlar Sandstone. Where's the ladder? It's over here, isn't it? Yeah. I feel like Ashlar Sandstone's kind of slept on as a material. I say that, but then I never actually build anything with it, so I can't really say much. Ooh, four whole people on. But yeah, if Cal's on the road again, if update 10 playtest, if it does go through and it is actually playable, a group of us are going to play on White Tiger just to check it out. Anybody is more than welcome to join us. We'll form a settlement together. Excuse me, see how it works. And if it doesn't, probably gonna do Arc, especially since people do seem to have some interest in Arc. And we'll probably do. I did. We'll do the exact same like maps, right? Although I do like. I mean, I like all the maps. I guess I like Fjordur a lot. Well, they changed it to June 14th, like 3 weeks ago. So that I mean that's what Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's supposed to be this Wednesday. So this is Jasper and Dr. Oldcole's place. But like if you go to like the please read the rules and constitute. Yes, well, if it ends up happening, we'll be sure to have that talk, Kitty. Because yeah, it's not my server. You need to remember that's not the same rules. I don't want people from my community going there and making waves, right? Um, yeah, I'll be pretty surprised if it goes forward because if you look on the official Eco Discord, there's a channel. It's called like update 10 playtest, but it's like up D10 playtest. I can't remember. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, on that server or on that in that channel, people put up the bugs in the current build, and it's like it's a me Mario. It's a mess right now. I don't think it's anywhere near playable. It seems like every time they try to fix something, they break something else. Right? So this is Hood and Door's little town. They got like almost a little village going here. They haven't been on because they were having internet problems and they couldn't get it resolved through their ISP. So they canceled and they're getting internet through a different ISP who I believe is coming this week. I want to say Dora said. So they haven't been on. So that's another thing. So like you got two of my regular players that have been playing for like 6 servers now. They're not on because of internet, right? Just little things I feel like is kind of all just added up to this server kind of dying. It might not be the best way to get a feel for settlements because White Tiger is a completely different play style. So what would you suggest then, Kitty? Just not check it out, or should I start my own playtest? Because I could just set this server up, but again, I don't think it's going to be playable this week anyway, so it doesn't matter. What is it about White Tiger that's so different, Kitty? Because I'll admit I have no idea. But I love this Mario. Got a door in his hand. Wait, can you actually even get in here? Oh yeah, okay. Guess it makes sense that it's hollow. This must be his eye. Yeah, it's his eye. Nice work, Hood. I know Hood's probably not watching, but man, that room is loud when it empties its thing. And it feels like it does it a lot. I feel like that's like the fifth or sixth time it's done it. It's hard to explain. Okay, I'll check it out later. All right, so if anybody does want ashlar, this is what the different types of ashlar look like: shale, basalt, granite, gneiss, sandstone, limestone. I'm not sure how active Darth is. Oh, a lot of taxes. Ooh, gross taxes. But that's the thing, though. Can't we get around taxes with our settlement? Right? Or is that not how settlements work? Seems like my game is running better. Honestly, blacking out. I went in, I looked at what programs were running, what was taking up a lot of resources, what could I not need, right? And all that. All I did, I uninstalled um, Overwolf and CurseForge, which are the things that you use for Minecraft mods. So I got rid of those, I uninstalled those, and it's been fine since. So apparently that was the problem. Was Overwolf. I keep wanting to say Overwatch. That's something else entirely. Overwolf and CurseForge were the problems. Yeah, I guess what I'm getting at, Kitty, is so if they're able to do global rules on White Tiger, that means we'd still be able to do global rules on my server, right? Okay, so we can have a punch down. Well, this would have been good info to know. Every time I say I don't know if that'll be possible with settlements, you could have jumped in and said yes, it would. See, I don't know how they work. That's why I want to test it. That's why I want to test it somewhere else other than my own server because I don't know how it works. So we will still be able to have, like, if we want to run the server the same way we run it with settlements, we still can, right? So this is Damo and Darf's property. I guess I should have specified. They got the ashlar. See, they make their own ashlar, right? Oh, this is fancy. This is fancy, folks. Look at this. This is a palace. This is a freaking palace. Look at this. Ooh. I knew you'd like it, Ro. There'll be 3 stages of government. Okay, that is good. That is what we want, right? That is what we want. What is going on back there? Oh, it's Darth. It's Darth Vader. We'll have to go look at that in a sec. Oh, it's not quite done. It's Darth Vader, though, coming. Yeah, it's not quite your little shack row, but it's getting theirs, right? Fancy, though. It's definitely the fanciest build this server. Because I do feel like when I said the meteor's going to hit, I feel like that discouraged people from building really fancy stuff, largely. Can I jump in his mouth from here? Probably not. I don't think I can jump that far. Oh. Did I break my ankles there or what? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Did I hit the edge or not? 7 days, 3 hours, 11 minutes till the meteor. So, yeah. Yeah, we're going to let the meteor hit for a couple reasons. A, this is the anarchy run. B, it's hitting a time of day that's like right in prime time where North Americans and Europeans should be able to watch it, right? Um, most of the people on my server have seen the meteor get destroyed at least once, if not like 4 or 5 times at this point, but they haven't seen the meteor hit. So we're going to let it hit. There's Cal's place. Where's the Darth Vader at? Must be over. It's over there. All right. That's just black and gray bricks, I would say, probably. Why not make a government bunker? What do you mean? Well, nobody's planning to play after the meteor hits. No, the server's dead already, Ro. So server's pretty much dead. There's like 11 active players. 11 active. And I figured this server wasn't going to be super active, and it wasn't. And, the hope is that update 10 is playable when this is done. I mean, you only need to play a half hour. I'm probably only going to stream for another half hour or so with Taro. But yeah, it was so good luck on your errand. Taro, I will likely see you not again today. Yeah, a lot of people are waiting for update 10 row. A lot of people didn't like the anarchy start. I feel like letting the meteor hit might have drove people away. There was pricing issues. There was a little bit of drama early on. There's a lot of little things that contributed to the server not being populated. And then Diablo 4 came out, and several. There's always drama. It's eco, bro. There's always drama. Oh, there's been plenty of drama without Ro. I had to ban 2 people last server, Ro. Like 2 completely independent people that had nothing to do with each other. This is Xandra's place. Yeah, Diablo 4 took away a few, 3 or 4 at least, of my last active people. Yeah, I've only banned 4 people in 11 servers, and 2 of them were last server. And one of the other ones was the server before. So basically, I banned a person in server 1. I didn't ban anybody else till server 9. And then I banned 2 in server 10. So I didn't ban anybody this time, though, but there was still drama. Yeah, World of Warships is not many people are playing because of D4. Yeah, I mean, it happens, right? So it's a lot of little things. Some of them in my control, some of them not, that have added. And no, Kitty, don't feel bad. Like, it's fine. It's okay. Like, I'm not forcing people to play eco. The server will be here if people want to play. If they're busy, whether it's with real life or other games, or they're just burnt out on eco, that is fine. This was not here last time I was here. This is awesome. This is cool. I like this. This is Blacking Out and Ange's place. I guess technically this is Ange's place. Blacking Out's place is over there. They are a couple though, so look for discounted food at the Wilted Lettuce Cart. So this is a really cool little fountain thingamabob here. You likey. What we got here? Oh, this is the tier 3 room for the stove. You need a tier 3 room for that. How do I get in here? I guess technically I'm not an employee. Not allowed in here. The door is open. Where's the water coming from? Like, where does the water start? I guess over here. Right there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Couldn't you need 2 pumps for this blacking out? Out of curiosity? It is 3 outputs. Yeah, I don't know. Is there like a limit? Is there like a, like a head lift limit? Can pumps? Yeah, I guess basically, is there a limit to how much a pump can pump? So the refrigerator, yeah. So the base spoilage row. The base spoilage is 3 days. If you put it in an ice box, it goes up to 4 days. And if you put it in a fridge, it goes up to, I think, around 5 days. Fridge and industrial fridge just reduce the spoilage, yeah. And the silo also prevents spoilage a little bit as well. I get it, Rico. Like Rico said, he goes, "It's summer here now. It's nice to be outside with the lady." And that's another reason why I feel like this server has been a little less populated, right? People are outside. It's June, right? Even I have been outside. I've taken up disc golfing, um, and it. I went out. I went out twice last week, Wednesday and Thursday last week. It was really nice out, and then it rained like all weekend. That's yeah. It's a freezer row, but it's technically an industrial fridge. I think is what it's called. It has the same effect on spoilage. Yeah, it's an industrial refrigerator. It has the same. It does look like a freezer though. Um, it has the same effect on spoilage as a refrigerator. It just holds more. But I agree. It looks like a freezer, right? It looks like. But yeah, so I took up disc golf. I went out twice last week, and then the weather went bad, and I didn't go out again. So I went on Wednesday, and disc golf is just throwing a frisbee disc at a basket. The very first throw, my tricep felt like a pain. Like I strained my tricep a little bit. So like the next few throws, I was very tentative. And then it was fine. It was just a little sore. But I think what I was doing, so obviously you throw with your arm, but you also throw with you're rotating your torso as well, right? I think because my arm was sore, I was throwing with my torso more. Um, and my back didn't bother me during the round. But when I went out to get out of the car, when I got home, oh my God, I could barely move. So Thursday, I could barely move Thursday. My back was so sore. I was basically on Robaxacet all day. I was a little loopy. Um, so yeah, my arm isn't sore anymore, but my back still is. I would like to get out disc golfing again, but it's probably going to be a little while. That's just old age. No, it is. Um, yeah, I agree that based off what this looks like, that's a freezer, not a fridge, right? Like that's a freezer. I'm sorry, but then we got Black Notes Place over here. I like the brick. Is this black? That's black, right? Yeah. Be hard to tell sometimes because like the gray can look like the black depending on what it's contrasted up against. Yeah, no, old age is definitely a factor. Like I'm gonna be 46 in a couple of months, right? I'm not young. But I mean I golfed I disc golfed on back-to-back days last week. And I was a little sore, a little tight, but nothing serious. Whereas this week, right, yeah, it wasn't good. So, but I need to lose weight. I need to get out and I don't know. Katie said you're allergic to the sun, but I used to be a very outside person. I used to be a guy who I used to live at the beach in the summer if I could, right? Like so for me to be such an indoor guy now is yeah, I got injured throwing a frisbee. I did 100%. Almost 4 weeks of nice weather now, and it's up to 28 degrees outside. I'm assuming that's Celsius. Rico, yeah, we had one of the days I was out there last week was that warm here in Canada. Yeah, no, I did. I got injured throwing a frisbee. I'm old. What can I say? Or more specifically, I get injured repeatedly throwing a frisbee the wrong way. You love the outdoors, but the outdoors don't love you. Yeah, you're not even 30 yet. You rolled in that one when you're born in regards to a healthy body. I've been fairly lucky health wise. Oh, look at I just realized I didn't even notice the thin little lines here. Let's fix this. Oh, that's not the one we want to pick up. Let's fix. Make it match the rest of the road here. Out of the way there, dearie. There we go. That looks better. You'll be 30 this year. It's all downhill from there, kitty. Like I broke my thumb. I broke this thumb playing hockey. I broke my nose. I broke my nose a couple times. But that's it for broken bones for me. Couple stitches right here. It's the only time I had stitches. Um, yeah, no, it's pretty good health wise for me. I've been fairly lucky. Can't complain. 7 days, 3 hours. Yeah, I do feel like you'll be 33 next month, Rico. Oh, you're getting there. It's going to start going downhill for you soon. So whose water wheels are these? Oh, this is Doc Cowbets. His mining operation, right? And then over here, we got ore to concentrate. This is Josh's, I think, right? Yes, Josh said, it says. Keep your fingers crossed you're not paralyzed before you get back to the coast, my family, to the East Coast. Yeah, hopefully, kitty. That would be good. Being paralyzed is not ideal. It's kind of like the opposite of ideal, I would say. All right, I'm going to double check my store. I don't think there's anything I need. Does anybody want composite lumber of a certain variety? I have some in stock of everything, but if you need any, let me know and I will get it stocked. I think I have some of each at least. Oh, little lag there. Little lag there. I have a pretty good stock of stuff. Or if you want like hardwood or softwood lumber or just lumber, let me know. Oil products are still pretty good. Plus, I think Monkey has a bunch. Yeah, I feel kind of bad for Monkey because I don't know if this was his first time playing Eco, but I'm pretty sure it was his first time. Well, it was his first time on my server, and it was his first time doing like oil drilling and stuff. And I feel bad for him because, I've oil drilled like 4 times before. I planted on the best oil spot. I was ready, right? I had all my stuff set up. I was ready to go as soon as oil drilling got researched. Whereas it took him a while to get set up. He's up, where's that tunnel at? Right here. It's right here. So that tunnel between Punch and I, he's off this tunnel. So he got set up late though. He has played Eco before. Okay. Um, he got set up way later than I did. So the thing with a lot of the oil products primarily go into two things: electronics, stuff for composites. Him and I are the only oil drillers, and we're the only composite people, I think. I'd have to double check. So it's not like he's going to sell oil to people to make composites because we each make our own. So he's the only way you're going to sell most oil products then. And there are a few exceptions. Like I think Taylor needs a bit of plastic to make some of their outfits, for example. But so the only thing they're going to need it for is electronics. But yes, but fiberglass is just for electronics. Yes, Kitty. For the most part, I think anyway. So fiberglass goes into electronics. And the thing with electronics, especially on a less populated server like this one, um, Taylor needs epoxy and nylon for the tier 4 blocks. Okay, but I mean, has he even made any of the tier 4 blocks? I don't think so. But I get what you're saying. Primarily electronics and composites, right? Electronics only last for so long. Yeah, the carpets get neglected so bad. Electronics only last so long. Once everybody gets a truck and they get a skid steer that wants one, or an excavator, the industrial fridge, there's a few big ticket items, but after that, you don't need any more electronics. So there was a big rush to get that stuff out. And I feel bad for Monkey because he has all this oil stuff in stock, but the electronics rush is it was gone. He missed it, so he's not going to sell it, right? Wish carpets we could use more. Yeah, I mean this server I knew with the shorter time frame, the faster XP. I had a feeling that late game, you know, was going to be a bit lacking, and it definitely is. I'm hoping next server we do, especially since this one was shorter. So me walking while eating gives you a little bit of motion sickness. Actually, kind of does me too if I look at it. I'll try to make sure that we go a little longer next server. I'd like to, and maybe between you and I, we'll have to get together, Kitty, try to do some kind of activity. You've been buying from him, Thorgrim? Good. I'm assuming you mean like plastic or whatever, fiberglass. If we can come up with some kind of activity, like because there's no activities this server, right? There's no, I didn't do a racetrack. Nobody made a parkour course. Nobody made you didn't do hide and seek. Right? We didn't do any events at all, which is another factor. See, it's all these little factors I feel like that have added up to having less people, right? Anyway, I feel bad for Monkey Prime. But yeah, I have 100-ish, if not more, of pretty much every composite. But if you want more of any, if anybody wants any, let me know. I can easily make more. Yeah, I guess that's that's all I have to say about composites. Let's make some lumber. Ooh, do I have any? Oh no, I did buy nails. Oh, I don't have much. I don't have a lot of hewn right now. I might have to go up to the tree farm and actually farm some trees. All right, so what do I have for food and storage that hasn't gone bad yet? I got some fruit tarts that I bought yesterday, some stuffed turkeys that I bought yesterday, and then stuff I bought today. The server hit hard for you and not in a good way. Yeah. You did not have as good of a time as you typically do. I'll just say that. And I have a feeling why. And we've kind of talked about that already, and we can talk about it some more in private. I still haven't read your DM, obviously. I'll read that after the stream. And I'll get back to you with some feedback. I have a feeling, I think I know what you're gonna say. And I could be completely wrong, could be something completely different, but I think I know what you're gonna talk about. And I get that it is an issue, but anyway, yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, there was no activities this run. Like if you look back the last run, you know, I had the racetrack, you were doing hide and seek, Lord Frost built that parkour course, Simon Says and Ubuntu, and I forget their friend's name again that they brought in. I did this last time. I kept forgetting his name. Anyway, the three of them built that giant pyramid with the maze in it, which was insane. Can the rope be put in the map so we know where we can build houses in the new server? Yes. And build contest would be good. Yes, Rico, that is part of the plan for next server. Is to at the very least have the main roads there on day one. See, yeah. And that's what this server was for, partially, to kind of figure out what we could live without and what we couldn't. And now we know. And I'm curious, like, I'm sure people like Punch, who was the main force, and I know like Russ helped them and possibly other people, was the main force making this tunnel. I'm sure Punch missed government stores, right? And anybody else who dug tunnels and stuff. But I'm curious how much other people missed them. Because like people haven't really come to me and said, oh, I missed government stores. I want government stores back. So I know Kitty said, you know, she missed having a dirt dump. I'm curious how other people felt about the no government stores, because I kind of like not having them, just because I felt like people were more spread out with no government stores. Hepperton's built in a 2x2 land claim and only use tier 1 mass to build something awesome and have the community vote on the top 3. Well, that would be definitely an interesting way to do it, Kitty, for sure. 2x2, that's pretty small. It's gonna be a lot of really tall builds if you do like that, right? Did I not buy 10 of these? Whatever. Eat simmered meat, Luch. Stores are good for dirt ramps, and garbage management. Yeah. I mean, it's mostly dirt, right? I mean, you know, Kitty, you've done enough, had enough times where you went to the government store and zapped whatever was there. So this is what Punch did to deal with the excess stone. He turned it into geology research papers, right? Yeah, the 2x2 is just to make a limitation and to challenge the builder. No, I get you. Yeah, we can definitely do something. It's just we got to figure out prizes. So most people probably don't know this or remember this because most of y'all weren't around back then. But on server 2 and 3, was it just server 2 and 3? It was not so bad not having Gov Store. Okay. And I mean, if you say that, server 2 and 3 at the very least, I might have done it on 4 as well. I'm not sure. But I used to have a vote. I used to have everybody vote on what their favorite builds were. I had everybody give me like a top 3 or a top 5. And then I voted myself, and I think I had my vote count for triple or something. And I tabulated it. And I gave out Steam gift cards for prize. I don't want to give out Steam gift cards because I'm poor. I can't afford to do that. But what I could do, well, one thing we could do, top 3, get the Echo statue to decorate their place. There was one thing that Axel mentioned. This was back a couple servers ago, but Axel had the idea of have it so that obviously the building contest would end at the end of the server. What you do is you give that person a prize at the start of the next server, some in-game bonus. So, for example, you could give them, say, a set of iron tools and say 5 whetstones for first place. And then second place, you know, you give 1 iron tool and 3 whetstones or something like that. Just you can give them something in game. Well, yeah, you couldn't give somebody the eco statue on day 1. Because I forget how much housing bonus it gives, but it would kind of break the game. Yeah, I'm down with giving in-game bonuses. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. You can do tools, or maybe even just maybe some like tier 2 furniture items, something like that. Yeah, it was probably easier for you road builders to find stone to make your roads this time, right? Yeah. So it was basically just dirt then, eh? I mean, realistically, what we could do, I mean, technically speaking, if you go in and change, there's like a variable you would need. Well, not it's a technically not a variable, it's a Boolean. Yeah, I'm talking programmer language again. A Boolean is a value, it's either true or false, just for people who don't know. So every item in the game has a file with different, attributes, one of which is a Boolean that says, is this a mintable item, true or false, right? So technically speaking, you can go in and change that so that anything in the game can be mintable. I guess what I'm trying to say is perhaps we could find a way to use a mint to void dirt. Just a thought, but that's something we can, discuss as we get closer to the next server. Make dark val coins because Katie's dirt cheap. Thorgrim says dirt could be used to expand landmass or build an island in the ocean. But the thing is, I mean, if we're on update 10, we don't, I don't want people expanding land masses if we're using boats. You know what I mean, Thorgrim? And if we're not on update 10, that is a great use of dirt. or just in general, it's a great use of dirt. Like I'm not certainly not saying it's not a good use of dirt, but if we're on update 10, I want to encourage people to use boats. So I don't want people making dirt bridges, right? I don't want people cutting off the ocean with dirt. But I get what you're saying. Although building an island would be cool. That would be cool. The only problem is like I don't know if anybody's ever gone out to the ocean. Like yeah, I'm not sure if people realize how deep the ocean is in this game. Ooh, an extra star. Ooh, that might be a bit too powerful. That might be a bit too powerful. Yeah, if we're gonna encourage boats, I don't want people to be dumping dirt in the ocean. Generally, yeah, making an island in the ocean would be whoo, because the ocean it gets pretty deep, and I don't maybe there's not that much deep ocean on this map because there's just not a lot of ocean. But yeah, I mean, you could hide a ton of dirt down here. It's true, I guess. You could just dump it out here, right? Like, look how deep this is. You could fit all a punch's dirt in here. 200 mortared stone of choice at start of the game. That would be cool as well. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do, right? To give a little bonus. I do think an extra star is too much, though. Oh wow, it really drops off quick here. Holy crap. I mean, I guess yeah, so I'm going to assume they're going to be reworking ocean and water generation in update 10, right? Because of boats. But we'll see. There's also a server setting that you can turn on or off that limits bridge building essentially. Because like if we're trying to encourage boats, we kind of want to discourage bridges. Yeah, some of these man, this ocean is deep in spots. Rivers are a little bigger in update 10. Okay, that is good. That is good to know as well. Punch says, never been like that before, but now if you're going to place dirt with an excavator, uh, where the vision of dirt is shown is not where. Yeah, trying to place dirt with a shovel, I couldn't get the dirt where I wanted it this time. Holy crap. I'm not the only one, right? That was like that. Like, I'm trying to place dirt here and it ends up here, like every time. Yes, it will prevent any ocean building. I mean, that's what it does. That's what the setting does. But I mean, we don't have to turn it on. It's just something we can potentially turn on, right? But I'm just gonna say this: if you're gonna build a bridge, make sure it's high enough that boats can go underneath it. Otherwise, your bridge is gonna get admin commanded away, right? Well, I'm hoping that they change the oil field generation as well to make them less likely to be out in the middle of the ocean. I mean, nobody. I mean, there's only two oil drillers this time, but I was gonna say nobody has an oil field in the ocean this time, but there's literally two of us, right? So yeah, I went by there earlier. Punch. Been there a couple times. I can go by again. Well, I guess I haven't really checked it out, have I? I've seen the road. I've checked out the road already. let's go by here. It'll be interesting with boats and stuff, but again, I feel like anybody who's excited for update 10 needs to temper their expectations. I feel like it is a long ways away from being actually playable. We got some corrugated steel up in here. Yeah, I will likely stream Ark if we play it. I would expect. Got some reinforced cock. Don't forget you can paint this, Russ. Yeah, I agree 100%, Katie. And I mean, I've made the point as well that boats and settlements are both major additions that should not have been in the same one. Especially since settlements is like making them rework the entire claim system, right? And they're also adding in like the face tracking, the avatar creation, Twitch integration. What else was it that? I mean, you showed that they're changing the way. Yeah, flaxseed's changing the lumber recipe. They're changing a bunch of recipes. Like there was something else. Oh, yeah, they said they're. Although I guess this wasn't necessarily update 10, but they're changing the way upgrade modules work. Twitch integration. So basically, you can have your. And now, obviously, I'm not on Twitch. I'm on YouTube, so it doesn't matter to me. But my impression of it, Punch, is you could have your viewers vote on laws through Twitch, for example. Which seems pretty stupid to me because people are trolls on Twitch. But stuff like that for Twitch integration. I really doubt it would be enough for me to switch over to Twitch. But I mean, I do have a Twitch, right? Like YouTube integration would be nice, but I don't think YouTube has the capability. Twitch is getting bad. Well, Twitch made another dumb decision this week, although I think they backtracked on it. But for anybody who doesn't know, are there going to be two governments or more? So with update 10, now I don't really know how it's going to work, Rico, but my impression, based off what Katie told me earlier, there's going to be like a worldwide government and then a couple levels of government under that. But yeah, the way Twitch works now, or the thing that the reason why, for anybody who doesn't know, when I started this whole journey as a content creator, I started on Twitch. I was on Twitch before I ever made a single YouTube video. I streamed like 5 days a week, 4 hours a day for like a month straight. And other than a couple of real life buddies stopping in when they had a chance, I got zero viewers. None. So I was like, all right, maybe I should try making some YouTube videos. And then for a while, I did both Twitch and YouTube. But over this time, Twitch just kept making what I at least viewed as dumb decisions. Right? This would be, a little over, this would be 2.5 years ago. Like they fumbled the DMCA thing. They, what else? Like gambling streams, hot tub streams, just the way they handle everything seems so dumb. There's also the fact that if you give me money on Twitch, I get half of it. If you give money on YouTube, I get 70% of it. If you give me money on Patreon, I get like 95% of it. So if you want to give me money, do Patreon or PayPal, which obviously I get all of. So Twitch, the reason I'm not on Twitch is because I felt like they just made dumb mistakes and their discoverability is horrible. And Twitch is also more of a young man's game. I felt like, right? Like Twitch by and large is a younger community. I felt like for some reason. So I moved to YouTube. And I've often considered going back and doing Twitch stuff, but Twitch made a decision this week, and they backtracked on some of it, I think. But the decision they made was, so let's say that I got sponsored by, I don't know, G Fuel. Let's pretend this is G Fuel. I'm sponsored by G Fuel, right? G Fuel gives me a little bit of money, and I say, hey, drink G Fuel, right? Obviously, I'm not actually sponsored by G Fuel. I'm just using it as an example. And yeah, forced ads and streams. There's a ton of reasons to not like Twitch. But what they did is now, if you get sponsored by G Fuel, you have to like go through Twitch with your sponsorship, and now Twitch takes a cut. Twitch takes a cut of your sponsorships. It's ridiculous. They already take a way bigger cut than anywhere else. It's it's ridiculous. And like if I had like a little G Fuel patch up in the top of the screen, now it can only be like 3% of the screen, and there's all these different rules you got to go. But the fact that I get big enough that I get sponsored by somebody, I negotiate that sponsorship, and then Twitch takes a cut of that sponsorship. No, no thanks. That's ridiculous. And I'm not saying YouTube is perfect because they're not. But yeah, no, 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 thank you to Twitch. Just no. It's stupid. Did you hear that, Punch? Russ wants it known. Russ is shouting from the rooftops. Punch was helpful. Thank you, Punch. Yeah, Punch is a good guy to have around when you need help with stuff. And I don't know if you heard Punch, but there's a pretty good chance I'm going to do ARC servers again. I know you played last time. So what happened last time is we had multiple servers. So a bunch of us were on Fjorder, but a bunch of people were on Ragnarok. But most of the people in Ragnarok, it was Punch, and then a bunch of people who had never really played ARC before. But Punch had, so Punch was like an expert. So like there was this tribe on Ragnarok. It was Punch and all the new players. It was like what, like Calorie, Ishmael, Elcirk, Blackenau. Were you part of that clan? But yeah, so Punch was very helpful with all the newbies. No, you weren't. Did you even play? Were you even around then? You weren't even around then, were you? Because you only started on server 9? Question mark. There was somebody else who was part of that, though. I think it was. But I say Calorie, Ishmael. You were around? Okay, so you must have just joined then. Boss battles is a try. We can definitely do that. Calorie, Ishmael, El Cirque, and I thought there was one other person, Punch, that was with you, but I could be wrong too. You're so bad with names you don't remember. Yeah, I mean it was almost a year ago. Then over on Fjorder, there was me, Nergy, Nateri, Stealth Sniper. We were kind of clustered together, and then Katie and Cody were there. Edible was there. Mr. Sporacco and Yo Yo Dog, they were up in the north. Purple and his buddy, I forget his name, they were in the Helm's Deep place. Thorgrim was there with Sharia. I think Skull was there. I don't even know where Skull's base was though. And Axel. Axel was on Ragnarok. Um, Fuse. I know Fuse was on Ragnarok, but I feel like I don't know if Fuse is still there, but I feel like Fuse got too busy to play. There's a few. Damo was over on Ragnarok. Stealth, yeah, I think I said Stealth, didn't I? It was me, Nergy, Nateri, and Stealth were up in that little by that fort up in the hills there. Stealth Sniper. And there's a couple other people. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, and I apologize. Uh, I'm forgetting. Oh, Sully. There was a tribe. It was Sully, El Tozo, Republic of Raider, and Sully's wife. I forget her name. Spirit was there. The only thing you remember well was you and the newbies was chilling and making progress day one. Yeah. I remember you in New World, Black and Out. yeah. Anyway, so uh, the breeding. I mean, you don't even need to do breeding. Um, but yeah, the breeding is it's a lot. It's not simple. Oh, I hear the Roomba. It's coming back down. My door's closed, so it can't come in. Um, but yeah, so update 10 if it's playable. If not, we're probably gonna do Ark. What happened to the Minecraft server? I never played Minecraft, so I my impression of the people. I don't know if you could hear that, but I don't know. Something's going on with the Roomba. Um, my impression of the people weren't playing anymore, so I stopped paying for it. Is what happened to it, Rico. I mean, I mean, I'm not going to pay for it if there's just like one person playing. And I was looking at the stats; it seemed like nobody was playing anymore, so I just stopped paying for it. But yeah. So next weekend, I'm likely not going to stream any more Eco until next a week from now when we let the meteor hit. And then we got Z Simone's property here. One of our many players that played the first weekend and didn't come back. Yeah, I mean Minecraft is a whole other conversation. That I'm not, you know, yeah, not for it's not a conversation for today. So yeah, so next weekend we're gonna let the meteor hit. If update 10's playable, we'll play update 10. If it's not, we're gonna do Arc. Um, hopefully we get lots of people there. I know a lot of people are tied up in Diablo 4 and stuff right now, and I get that. But yeah, um, the Minecraft mod. So the meteor will be hitting. So, okay, so whatever time it is, your local time, it was survival punch. Whatever time it is right now, a week from today, Saturday, plus 2.5 hours. Right now, a week and 2.5 hours from right now is when the meteor will be hitting. It was Minecraft. Um, Create Plus was the mod pack that we used, which, look, here, okay, I said I didn't want to talk about Minecraft, but I'll briefly talk about Minecraft. So we did a Minecraft server because we were between eco servers. We didn't really have anything to play. And people mentioned Minecraft. I have played Minecraft before, but it was way in the past, like 10, 12 years ago. I have not played since. I've never played modded Minecraft. So we jumped in, but everybody wanted to play modded, and I get it because most people have weren't me and they have played Minecraft. They didn't want to play vanilla, which is fine. So we fired up Minecraft with the Create Plus mod pack. And as somebody who hasn't played Minecraft in 10 or 12 years, I was completely overwhelmed. I did not know what I was doing. I was not having fun. So I did not play. I played the first day or two, and that was it for me. A bunch of other people kept playing for a while, had a good time. Great. Then it dropped off. It was there for the server was there for 2 months, and then it seemed like nobody was playing anymore, so I stopped paying for it. But yeah, I didn't stream or anything because, like I said, I had no idea what I was doing. Um, yeah, I was completely lost. Like, and the problem was like I didn't know what was part of the mod pack and what was just stuff that was new. Like, because like I couldn't even like I tried Google stuff and I was like, and I wouldn't even get a hit because it was only from the mod pack, so it wasn't really part of the wiki. Um, like yeah, like most people were like you punch, they wanted super modded, and that's fine, but it wasn't fun for me. So it was what it was. Um, but yeah, so for anybody who's playing Diablo 4, by the way, I will likely not be playing Diablo 4. I do not like that style of movement with like click to move or whatever, using the mouse to move around. I like moving with WASD. Diablo is not for me. I tried Diablo 3 with a couple of friends, just played it for a bit, didn't like it. So I will not be playing Diablo 4, but a bunch of people are. There's a Diablo 4 channel in the Discord. I'm assuming most of you are my regular viewers who are already in my Discord. If not, join the Discord. There's a Diablo 4 channel. There's a clan if you're looking for people to play with. Just thought I'd mention that. And again, I will not be joining you, more than likely. I'm not paying, it's like $90 Canadian. I'm not paying $90 Canadian for a game that I know I'm not going to like. Is what it is. But, yeah. Arc. If not update 10, Arc. And I don't think update 10 will be ready. I really don't. I'll be really surprised if that White Tiger goes live with update on it and is actually playable on Wednesday. I'll be shocked, honestly. Yeah, you're like me, Yeah, I like using WASD. Like I tried. I tried. Like we got the level cap and we started getting the late game. And I was just like, you know what, boys, I can't. I'm done. That's enough Diablo for me. So, and I'm also not a big fan of Blizzard in general. Their business practices aren't great. So a Blizzard game would have to be really good for me to pick it up nowadays, but not to get all, not to get on my soapbox, but yeah, I know like Diablo 3, you can play Diablo 3 on Switch. I'd probably like using the controller more, but like I said, I'm not paying. I've already bought too many AAA games this year. Generally speaking, I try to limit myself to like 2-3 AAA games or like AAA game prices per year. And we're in June and I've already bought 4 AAA games, which is too much, especially since their AAA games are more expensive now. But I bought Harry Potter. I bought WWE 2K23. I bought Octopath Traveler 2, and I bought Tears of the Kingdom. You can use a controller on PC. Well, I'll tell you, if I was to pick up Diablo 4, which I don't think I'm going to, but if I do, it'll be only because I can play with the controller. D4 is your first AAA game you've gotten? Yeah. So yeah, I bought 4, which is way more than I typically buy. So I kind of want to limit how many I buy. Space Engineers, but see, like, I'm just, if I'm just being honest, Rico, that is not a game for me. I think people would need to know my Blizzard handle though to gift me D4, right? Space Engineers is a builder's game. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I've never played it. But as somebody like me who doesn't like building, I just like providing the things for you builders folks to build, right? That's what I like. I don't like building. I feel like Space Engineers is a building game. Yeah, you say? Now, I'm sure you could find other people in the community to play with you, especially if we're in a downtime where we're not really playing anything else together. But it's just not for me, I don't think. But anyway, I should get going. We're having people over for board games tonight. My sister's having her friends over for board games tonight, and I'm welcome to join. I probably will. But I got to go help her clean the house, and I got to eat supper, and I got to record a Mad Games Tycoon 2 video all before they get here. So I should go. But thanks for coming out, everybody. I really wasn't sure if anybody'd come watch because, I mean, the Eco server's kind of, it's kind of dead. A game night again soon. Oh, you mean Jackbox? Yeah. I'm not going to go 6 months between Jackbox. Remember to hit that like button. Also, it would be cool. I don't know how many people in the community play board games, but there's a lot of good board game implementations. Thanks, Punch. There's a lot of good board game implementations on Steam, like stuff like Dominion, Wingspan, Lords of Waterdeep, Splendor, like good solid board games. Um, so maybe some night we'll try to have a board game night, right? Like and like I don't know who's played Dominion, like the board game, well the card game of dealing cards out here. Ticket to Ride, another good example. Do I have Ticket to Ride? I think I do. Well, like all the ones I named are games I already own on Steam. But Dominion is free. Just the expansions cost money. But I think as long as one person has the expansions, everybody can play them. I think. Um, yeah, I mean, Dominion's not my. I had a phase where I played so much Dominion. Excuse me, but Dominion's not my favorite. But yeah, anyway, it'd be cool to have a board game night sometime. Oh my god, excuse me again. Um, yeah, Cards Against Humanity is the only card game I played that is recent. Let's just say it's very different from Cards Against Humanity. Very, very different. Um, yeah, something like Ticket to Ride or Wingspan or Splendor, which are all what I would consider like, gateway games into more serious board games. Um, like Life. We had Life when I was a kid. Life and Careers. Those old Parker Brothers games when I was a kid. Yeah. No, board game night would be fun sometime. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta go help my sister finish cleaning the house. Trouble. Oh God, I hate. Yeah, we had Trouble when I was a kid, but that game is pure luck. Therefore, it's terrible. Um, but yeah, I played Trouble when I was a kid. Monopoly. Bleh, Monopoly, worst game ever. Um, strategy board game myself. Thorgrim says, yeah. So yeah, I'm just my instinct would be that this group of people would probably the majority or a lot of the people here probably would like those board games that I mentioned. Um, yeah, again, I guess to go, folks. Thanks for coming out. Um, so Eco next Saturday, Meteor Destruction. I'll have Mega Games Tycoon 2 videos every day. I'm gonna try to pick up a new Let's Play or two, or at least stream something a couple days this week. I may revisit something that I did before. We'll see. I was checking the Steam upcoming releases page, and it looks pretty grim again. There's not much coming out, so I might have to revisit something like Astro Colony, or I don't know, Stone Hearth. I own that game, but that's an old game. I'm trying to stick to newer stuff that's in early access. Anyway, I gotta go. You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming out. Be good to each other. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.